So good to see you as we adjust the focus here. Thank you so much for joining us for a great conversation with a great guy. I know you're gonna love this. You've heard me talk about them before, but a big thank you to Upstart for sponsoring this video and for supporting the channel. Saying goodbye to high interest credit card debt is one of the first steps you can take towards financial independence. But that interest, month after month, can sometimes feel like it's just this never-ending hamster wheel. Well, that's where Upstart comes in. Upstart-powered personal loans can help you pay down high-interest debt all online with simple and easy-to-understand payment terms. Upstart has helped over 1.8 million customers on their path to financial freedom. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, Upstart can help you get one fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. And Upstart knows that you're more than just your credit score. So if it's a little bit on the lower side, that's okay, because Upstart's model considers other factors like your income and your employment and other things you put on your loan application, so they can get you a smarter rate. And you can check your rate in minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000 without impacting your credit score. And you can even receive the funds as fast as one business day after accepting your loan. So don't wait. Check to see what your rate is today by going to upstart.com/CVV. If you're just listening to this and not watching it, I will let you know that it is on the screen right now. There it is, upstart.com/CVV. And do me a favor, use our link. It's down below in the pinned comments and also in the description. Use our link so they know that we're the ones who sent you there. Again, it's upstart.com/CVV. And seriously, if you have high interest credit card debt right now, this is an absolute game changer. Upstart.com/CVV. Now let's get to this great chat with the one, the only, Griff Garrison. I think for anybody watching this video right now, they think I'm sitting down with a young Chris Jericho.
Yeah, probably. Literally. No, like we were just talking about, like, whenever Jericho posts a throwback picture, fans like just always like, is that Chris Jericho or that Griff Garrison? Like,
it's the hair.
It's the hair. It's literally like, but it's kind of scary because like he posted one, the first one that I ever saw him post on his Instagram. I was like, did I? Like, it took me by surprise for a second. I was like, is that me? I was like, no.
Have you told this to Jericho?
I have not. I have not.
Need to tell him this.
I should. I need to, because I literally thought, I was like, I didn't post that. Who is that? Is that me? I was like, had like 20,000 likes. I was like, I don't have that many followers. I don't know, but yeah, that was insane. Like, and I get tagged like every time he posts one now. It's just Griff Garrison, Griff Garrison.
I also don't think people appreciate how tall you are, how big you are.
Yeah, no, because every time
6'3",
I'm about 6'3.5", 6'4", probably.
Yeah.
Every time people meet me, like even here at the meet and greets and stuff, like they're like, "Oh, like you're so much taller, and like you just look bigger, like in person than on TV." And I was like, "Well, I mean, it's just because Brian, I think, is like shorter, but he's like stockier."
Well, then I think people say the same thing to Brian, where they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize how tall you were because he's next to you."
Yeah.
So then he looks so much smaller compared to you.
Right,
like,
on the TV. Yeah.
He's like tall-ish, not as tall as you, but also like. He's so wide now.
He's got broad shoulders.
How did his shoulders get so wide?
I don't know, man. I guess he's just doing lateral raises in the gym all the time.
I feel maybe it's not even in the gym, just all day.
Just all day, just walking around trying to fly away, I guess.
So, but then but you're also on board with this. You walked into this room with a bowl full of tuna.
Yeah. So I'm really
just tuna. Nothing else.
Just tuna. No, just tuna. Like whenever I go on the road, I go to Walmart and I just buy packs on packs of tuna. And like I put 2 bags of tuna in that container, and it's like probably 40 grams of protein per pack. So that's just 80 grams of just raw protein.
Are you not eating like any sort of carbs?
I mean, I'm starting to bulk. I've been cutting for the last 3 or so months. But I'm gonna start bulking on Monday.
So your meals are literally just a bowl of tuna?
Well, I'm on the road,
Okay,
because but like normal meals, like I'll wake up and have like eggs with blueberries or something. Like I'll eat a protein bar before I go work out. I'll do my creatine and stuff. Come back, like maybe a shake after I work out with Greek yogurt, and then I eat like chicken, green beans, salmon, ground beef, ground turkey, sort of that sort of thing. Yeah. So with asparagus and stuff like that.
All that boring food.
All that boring,
I'm
nasty, gross food.
Yeah,
but I mean, it gets the job done, because I mean, I'm the strongest. I feel the healthiest I've ever been in my life. So I love it.
Do you have a fitness goal? Like, do you want to, like you said, you're cutting right now. Do you want to look a certain way, or is it a number on the scale?
Well, I used to. That's the thing. I used to care about the number on the scale, but now I don't really care about that as much. I just care about looking big on TV and just being strong. Like that's
Yeah.
literally I told my trainer like when I first started, like he's a wrestler too, and I was like he's doing my workout plan and meal plan, and I was
Want to
like,
shout him out?
yeah, Michael Judas. What's his Instagram name? The Priest of Punishment on Instagram. Yeah, he's very, very good. Like, he does a lot of NWA stuff, and has like a degree in like exercise and nutrition science and everything. So he writes my workouts and my meal plan, and he asked me what my goal was, and I was like, "Do you remember John Cena in 2015? That's what I want to look like."
That is so.
That was he was
incredibly specific.
I remember telling it like 2 years ago is when I started all this, and I was like, "Do you remember what he looked like in 2014, 15? That's what I want to look like."
Wow, because a lot of people go, do you remember Triple H after he came back from the quad tear?
Yes.
That,
yeah.
Right.
Freaking insanely just jacked.
Yeah, I interviewed Johnny Gargano recently. He was like, when Triple H came back from the injury, I wanted to like, he didn't want to look like that, but he's like, I wanted people to go, oh, right. I forgot how jacked that guy was.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. He's insane. Like I a couple years ago, like I was like, I've always been kind of a bigger-ish guy, but like a couple years ago, I broke my foot and I had to have surgery because they found a tumor in my foot. And yeah, it was the craziest thing. It was Easter of like 2017 or 2018 or something. It was like a year or two after I got out of high school. And so I do a backflip on the beach.
Yeah.
And I do another one. Boom, my foot, it just breaks. And then like, I have to go to the doctor. They found out it was a tumor, all this, everything. They removed it and all that. And I came back. And it's like, whenever I came back to shows, like all like the other wrestlers, they were like, damn, like you got like big. And I was like, that was my goal, man. Like, yeah. And I actually went to a tanning bed, unlike right now because I'm pale. But yeah, no, I started work like after that. I was like, all right, I gotta, I started working out harder. I'm sorry, just started tanning.
Say whatever you want.
Started tanning, all that. So yeah,
but
I get that.
A tumor in your foot. Let's back it up to that. That sounds terrifying.
It was because like I was always told for the longest time, like ever since I want to say like right after my senior year football season, so like the spring or something of my senior year, I started having like this like pain in my foot, this nagging pain in my foot. It would not go away. And I didn't know what it was. Like we saw doctors and everything, and they were like, yeah, you just got like this thing. It's called plantar fasciitis. Like I heard plantar fasciitis for like my whole life, or for that little span. And like I would get this like lacrosse ball, frozen water ball, just rub it on my foot. I would wear insoles in my shoes. I did everything for it. And then finally when that happened, it just like, the doctor was like, yeah, you've been growing a tumor in your foot for like a couple of years. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy that it took you breaking your foot.
No, because like it's crazy because like she said like if I wouldn't have broken it, it would have kept like it was eroding my heel bone. So I basically didn't have a heel bone. It was just all tumor. And she said it would have kept going up into my leg and into my knee. And so if I would have done it a year or two later, I would have probably had to legit amputate my leg. Like half my leg.
Gosh.
Yeah, like it was insane.
That's one of those stories about like the worst thing happening ends up being the best
thing for you, dude. I'm like, at the time I was so upset about it, like, cause like she was like, yeah, you're probably gonna miss like 8-10 months of wrestling, and it ended up being 6, which isn't terrible for that, because I was on crutches for 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, like literally, I thank God almost every day for like, I'm like, thank you for allowing me to break my foot, so I didn't have to cut my leg off. Thank you so much.
But you've been, you're talking about doing backflips on the beach. Yeah. You've been a natural athlete your whole life. Mm-hmm. What was your first sport?
First sport was actually baseball.
At what age?
I probably started playing t-ball at my dad had me in the yard at probably a year and a half, 2 years old, hitting off the tee and stuff like that. So I was born in Atlanta, and so we always went to the Braves games. We had season tickets. We went all the time. We met guys like Chipper Jones and everything. He was the man. But yeah, they always thought I was going to be the next, Atlanta Brave. And then football came along, and I fell in love with that. I played football throughout high school. I even stopped playing baseball and basketball probably my first or second year into high school just to focus on that. And I went to all these camps, and I went to like these Nike combines and stuff. And I actually tore like my whole hamstring at this combine. And so like that was the summer before my senior year. So like I couldn't go to any of these camps or anything like going into my senior year. And so I think that's why like I ended up playing at like a D3 football school called Guilford College because I couldn't go to these camps. They like pulled all the scholarships from me. And after football season, senior year, I was like, I might just walk on somewhere. But then that's when the foot pain, the nagging started, And so I was just like, let's just go to somewhere local. Let's like just get a degree and just play football and figure it out. And that's when wrestling came. I was telling you wrestling came about. I just start like it was right after it was the summer before I started college though. Me and my buddy Marcus Cross, he's done a couple darks. He's the guy with the tall blonde hair. I moved into his neighborhood in probably middle school, and we started wrestling on the trampoline, and we did that all day, every day, even into high school. Like I'd come home from football practice, and I'd be like, all right, let's go watch. Let's see what's going on, and then we'd go outside and do the moves. And this was 2015, 2016, and that's back. Like I didn't know there was any other wrestling in the world in 2015, 16 other than WWE.
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to have to send a video to Vince McMahon of us wrestling on the trampoline and hope he gives us a tryout. Like, I don't know what's good. Like, and then we went inside and we were just very like hopeful because we just got done. It was like 3 a.m. It was on a weekend, we go in and we type in like wrestling schools near Greensboro, North Carolina, just to see, and all these schools popped up and we were just like, what's going on? It's 3 a.m. and we're there the next day. We go there the next day. We get there at like literally noon, and we were there all day.
The next day?
The next day. We emailed the guy at 3 a.m. His name was LeBron Cozone. He's a wrestler, and he trains at Firestar Pro Wrestling in Greensboro, North Carolina. And we were there the next day, and I mean, we just could not get enough of it, man. We were there probably every training session he had. We texted him. We were like, hey, if we pay you like $10 extra, can we come into a private session? We were there 6 days a week for probably 8 hours a day.
Your story's so interesting because had you not had these injuries, you would have followed the football path.
I think so. I think so because like I was getting like.
What position did you play?
I played receiver. I played quarterback all the way up until high school. I got to 9th grade and they were like, hey, we're going to move you to receiver because there was a kid, his name was Joe Butts.
Who was a better
He
quarterback?
was much better than me. Oh, my God. I'm telling you, this kid was probably 5'10", but if he was 3 or 4 inches taller, he could have played anywhere he wanted to.
Wow.
I mean, anyway, he was a stud. He broke every record of every passing record at North Davidson where I went to high school. And, but I think he ended up playing baseball at a small Division I school. But he was the man. And, I played receiver all throughout high school because he moved me just because he was a better quarterback.
So, like, you may have gone to a D1 school, and then, who knows? Maybe you wouldn't have even found wrestling.
No, I was getting recruited by, like, Coastal Carolina. Like, Wake Forest was looking at me. It was, like, those type of schools.
You're wearing a Duke shirt.
Wearing a Duke shirt. Yeah, I went to their camp. They invited me to a game. So it was, like, those types of schools were looking at me, and I knew I was, like, if I can just get my foot in the door of one of these schools, I'm, like, I'm going to work my AWS off to try to get to the league.
Yeah.
But like that whole situation happened. The foot thing happened. I was kind of hopeless. I was like, well, dang, I'm not going to really go to a big school, but at least I can still play the sport I love.
Yeah.
And then that's when I got to college. That's when I found this wrestling thing, and that's when I just fell out of love for football. And I just gravitated towards wrestling, and now we're here doing an interview in Indianapolis, Indiana.
When you were going to wrestling school, what were you doing for work?
I was still in school. I worked at like the library at my school. So I mean, it wasn't really like a job, but I was like, I got to do something, like I can't just, and like.
We had to pay for wrestling school.
I had to pay for wrestling school, but I mean, at the time, like the guy, LeBron, he only had a few students, and it was literally me, him, and one other kid almost every time. So I mean, thankfully back then it wasn't that expensive, but now I mean he's blown up, man. Like Firestar, like he's in a room, he's got like 2 or 3 rings, he's got like 100+ students, and he's doing really well for himself.
What would you say was the first break for you in wrestling?
Let's see. I think the first break was, we went to me and the Marcus guy. We went to a Ring of Honor dojo camp, like the one they have in Philadelphia. Yeah, I think it's Philadelphia, and. We got to like do drills, wrestle matches, do promos and stuff in front of guys like, Chris Daniels, I think was there.
That's come full circle
for
you.
For real, Chris Punishment Martinez at the time, who's Damian Priest now, I believe. Yeah. And it's like guys on the roster and everything, and they liked us. And then that was in December, and that next February, we went and did like Future of Honor, and then we wrestled against each other, and then they put us together as a team, and then we kind of did the Ring of Honor stuff. We wrestled like Dalton Castle and Joe Hendry, wrestled the boys, Dalton Castle's boys. We even wrestled the Briscoes for the tag titles. So I mean, I think that like going to the camp and being able like to do the whole Ring of Honor thing was like our first big break.
Yeah, and then how did you get on AEW's radar?
Well, it was 2020, and we were wrestling. Me and Marcus were wrestling. I can't remember the other kid's name, but Baron Black, and I want to say his name was like Prince Kai, and it was like a Future of Honor thing, and it was in January of 2020, before like everybody was freaking out about the whole pandemic.
Right.
And I think mid-match Marcus partially tore his ACL, but I don't think he really knew it. He just kind of was like, "Oh, I just think it's just a bruise or whatever." And then the next month we went to Baltimore and we wrestled the Soldiers of Savagery, and we ended up beating them. But I think he completely tore his ACL then, and they were going to offer us to a contract, and then that happened. Then COVID hit, and then I was just talking about it in the panel with the AEW panel. I had a bachelor's degree at the time in education and history. And so I was literally online looking and applying for a teaching job. I get the call from my agent. He's like, "Hey, you're going down to Jacksonville to do extra work." I was like, I can't let this opportunity slip. Yeah. I gotta, I cut off. I talked to I'm a very social butterfly. And as soon as I got that text, I put my computer down, or I got that call, I put my computer down. I didn't talk to anybody except for my family, my parents it was 2 weeks before I went. I was just training, eating, and watching wrestling, and that's it. That's all I did. I stayed in my room or the weight room, and I was just I can't let this opportunity go to waste. And so I went down there. I wrestled I think Jimmy Havoc and Lance Archer, and then the next week they brought me back. And
that's certainly more than extra work, by the way.
Yeah, for real. No, it was.
There's a lot of people that get called down for extra work, put on a suit, and then just sit around all day.
Right. No, catering. For sure. No, I was blessed because that was down when we went and we did live. We came down on Tuesday, did a live Dynamite on Wednesday. And then we did Thursday and taped it for the next week so we didn't have to go down there every week. And then they just kept bringing me back. I remember the next time I went down there 2 weeks later, I did a dark match, and it was actually against MJF. And we came to the back, and Tony was like, "Yo, that match was that was so good. That was so good." He loved it. And we did it again the next night. And so they taped it for Dynamite for the next week. So instead of being on dark, I got to be on Dynamite my second trip down there. So that was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and against Max, against him. So that was really cool, and for him and Tony to appreciate my selling and everything that I did in that match was really cool too.
And then you just kept getting called back. I feel like.
Yeah, I just kept getting called. They were like, "Hey, you just come. You can come back. And then me and Brian got put together. And then,
how did you guys get put together?
I don't see. I don't know. I think Tony just kind of threw us together. But one time I saw him at the Charlotte airport, and I was just talking to him, chatting him up. I had met him one other time, I think the loop before, and he was like, "Yeah, I bet we're there. I bet they're gonna throw us together or whatever. I bet we'll do a tag team match or whatever." And then we get there and our names are on the board against each other, and I guess Tony just liked us. He kept booking us as a tag team, and then we eventually formed the Blonds, and then Julia came about. We got Julia, we got matching gear, the uniforms, the jackets, the everything, and then we got signed to salary last July. So
congrats on that.
Yeah, man, thank you. It was crazy. My life, I feel has just been one crazy roller coaster ride.
And I guess you do have a lot of similarities with Brian in terms of obvious. The hair is the obvious one, right? Varsity Blonds, but the football too.
Oh yeah, because I think the Varsity Blonds kind of came about because he's the lacrosse guy, and I was the football guy, and I was doing a gimmick before where it was the Ivy League athlete MVP thing. So I think that kind of just meshed well together for the both of us.
And his dad's obviously the legend that he was, but also his dad playing football. It all kind of ties in here.
Oh, yeah.
When do you think we'll start planting some seeds of doubt in the tag team of the Varsity Blonds? I just feel like every great tag team ends up breaking up.
Yeah,
you're right. I'm not wishing this upon you.
No, but I feel like there's already, if you've been watching the product, I think there's already been a little seed planted here and there, with Julia. I don't know what she's doing. She's still got pink eye. She's still got the eye patch on or something. I don't know what's going on there, but
pink eye. Yeah.
But it's definitely caused some tension between the group. But I would love to, maybe go full heel one day. I think that would be sweet.
Turn on Brian.
Me and Brian turn on somebody. I don't know. That's somebody. I don't know.
You could be a heel tag team.
Be a heel tag team. I think that naturally fits us too, because when I first started and I was doing the Ivy League thing, I was a heel, and I feel like that's more me.
Everyone, I feel like, prefers being the heel.
It's so much harder to get people to cheer for you than it is to boo.
Well, it's also the one chance in your life that you can just be an absolute dick.
Oh, yeah. No, I got a funny story. I started wrestling at the Firestar place, and they were running shows, and it was in a little garage or whatever at the time. And it's my mom. She came, and it was her first time coming. She didn't know what to expect. I didn't even really know what to expect. It was my second or third show ever. And she said she got there. She sat beside this old lady, and I was the match right before intermission. And I come out there, and this lady, she's cussing me up and down because I'm being a heel. I'm interacting with her, and she's like, "You mother effing this, that, you big whatever," and just cussing up the storm. And then as my match gets done, the lady turns to my mom, and she's like, "Well, you're new here. Like, I've never seen you here before. Like, who are you with?" And my my mom said she turned to the lady, and she said, "I was with that mother effing big dummy that you're." And she said this lady was just like, "Oh God." But that's a pretty funny heel story.
So what do you feel like your goals are in AEW right now?
Definitely, as of right now, I think me and Brian have a lot more to accomplish because I think we need to be able to build more chemistry, and I think we are because we hang out, outside of wrestling too. So definitely, maybe another match at the tag titles as of right now. I mean, I've honestly have singles aspirations too. I would love to be TNT champ. I would love to take the title from my fellow vlog crew member, Sammy. I mean, he's a champ, or Scorpio.
Yeah.
But Sammy wins tonight, but they haven't aired that yet.
Yeah. Wait, this will air in several weeks, so don't worry.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So Sammy's the champ right now, so I'd love to take it from him, too.
He didn't have the belt with him when I saw him, though.
Yeah, but because I think they're airing it tonight, so I don't know if he wanted to. Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah.
We're okay. Everything's all good. But I feel like his vlog is so over.
Oh, it's so
so over. And I was like, I remember I first interviewed him in 2019, actually before Dynamite ever debuted. And his vlog was like doing solid numbers. There was a lot of him on the indies.
Yeah.
And then when he started doing the AEW stuff, it's kind of like a peek behind the scenes of like the life that you guys live.
Yeah, no, we literally just get together and we don't even rehearse anything, practice anything. We just literally just set up a camera, we hit record, and we just start talking about nonsense. It's just literally we don't like I said, we just don't practice anything, and it's we just have fun, and it's just a good way to hang out with them and just build a closer bond with them.
You've probably gotten over so much from the vlog,
right? No, I think what got me over to begin with was the bit I did on his vlog and the bit I did on BTE my first time there. We did a bit where Marco was confused and thought that I was Jungle Boy, and everybody's obviously heard about that. And then we did the Brody Lee bit where it was who the fuck is Griff Garrison and all that. So I couldn't thank Brody and Sammy enough for allowing me to be involved and be included on those bits and everything, because I might not be here right now. So I think that originally got me over and kind of.
It's amazing, right? Because if we were to have the same conversation in the wrestling world that existed 10 years ago, the idea of getting over on vlogs that then translates, look how over the bits that the Bucks do on BTE.
Oh, I know.
Or Hangman Page does on there or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing that something that lives here on YouTube can get you guys over so much.
Oh, dude, it's so different. Like my family talks about it all the time. They're like, in our day and age, they're like, in our day and age, that would have never happened. But it's just
I'm only saying 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago,
5 years ago even.
Yeah, for real. But I'm just blessed, to be able to just be friends with them and just letting them let me be in their vlog and everything. Because without it, I don't know if.
Yeah, well, them kind of welcoming you into their world, that's a big thing for them too. I feel like.
Yeah, no, it is for sure. I was because I was one of those scared extras, my first time there at AEW. I was just kind of standing there and didn't really know what to do. Just had my gear on at 2 p.m. I was taking pictures, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna stay right here. Yeah. And then they came and got me, and I was and then literally ever since then we've clicked, all of us, me, Fuego, Ty, Sammy, Alan, Aaron. So
tell me something about Brian Pillman Jr. that people might not know.
Oh man! So one thing about him, he's very I mean, people probably know this, but he loves the business more than I think a lot of people give him credit for. Just because he's always trying to reinnovate us and just trying to always trying to come up with new things and spots for us to do, and I just think people don't give him enough credit for loving the bit. I think people come to him and it's just he's just kind of doing it because his dad did it. No, he belongs here. He loves this more than anybody that I know.
Yeah, he lives and breathes this. Today, his greeting to me was a punch.
No,
you know?
yeah, he'll be
a
like
wrestling punch.
We'll go to the gym and like I'll be warming up and like starting my lifts and stuff, and then before he does anything, he'll just be practicing super kicks in the mirror and like slapping it. It's the funniest thing. Like I'll be walking on the treadmill and I'll just hear, and I'm like, oh my god, like I know exactly what that sounds.
I've worked out with him many times. When I lived in Cincinnati, we worked out a lot at Crunch Fitness. And you're right. In between sets, like you're lifting the weights and he's there like super kicking the mirror and like posing in the mirror, and you're like, man, it's
what a guy.
and he draws so much attention because he has the mullet.
Yeah, no, exactly. We stand out everywhere we go. It's because like we're two,
Because
above average guys that
you look like wrestlers.
You look like you know what I'm saying? Like we're both bigger-ish guys with nice hair, and it's just like one of those guys is super kicking in the mirror, and it's just like people are probably gonna pay attention to that.
Yeah, that's every time I worked out with him, I was like, yeah, like everybody's looking at what we're doing here.
Yeah, he's definitely a character.
He is for sure a character. All right, tell us something about you that they might not know.
I, in addition to wrestling, am a really good dancer. I can dance, and I feel like some people know that if they follow me on TikTok, but not a lot. So if you want to follow me on TikTok at Griff Garrison, and you can see me shake my butt.
So what kind of dancing are we talking about?
Oh man, like have you ever seen Magic Mike?
Yes, I've seen them all.
Yep, that kind of dancing.
Wow.
I mean, maybe not on anybody, but just like like on the air. Like
Whoa!
Just, yeah.
I think if
I get down.
The thing though is if you talk about this, too much, this might become part of your character.
Honestly, I'd be okay with
like
that.
Fandango or something like that.
Oh my God, I loved him when he first debuted, dude.
Yeah,
I was such a big fan. Like I remember watching his debut match against Jericho at WrestleMania.
Yes,
I loved his whole everything. But that'd be cool. I mean, because I could pull that off. I mean, because I think his thing was like more of like a ballroom thing.
It was.
Mine would be more of a stripper kind of thing. Mine would be a little more.
You'd be coming out to Genuine. Yeah.
Pony by Genuine. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Do you think that you think this is a character you would actually want to do?
I could for sure see myself doing that. Like I don't know if that character would be heel or face, but like I could definitely see that.
It could be both.
I think it could be both. It really could. But,
yeah, it depends how you play it.
Yeah.
Who were the wrestlers that you loved growing up?
I mean, obviously, I was the average kid that loved John Cena because I didn't know. I was like 8 years old. I was like, I want to be like that guy. Like he's that guy, My first ever match that I ever remember watching on TV was his debut against Kurt Angle. That was my first ever match that I remember, and I was like, oh, he stuck with me. Like I remember watching him. I was like, yep, that's who I want to be.
Have you ever met him?
I have not.
Oh.
I would love to, though. I would love to meet. If I could meet anybody, it would be him and Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, those are two pretty great ones.
I saw like your interview with DJ.
Yeah,
that was sick.
Yeah,
Kevin
I'm
Hart.
not at the level where I can call him DJ yet.
DJ. Well, I'm sorry,
maybe.
Dwayne, but
yeah, I just call him. Actually, one of the first times I sat down with him, I'm like, "What should I call you?" And he's like, "Oh, my friends call me DJ, but you can call me Rock." I'm like, "Okay, good."
I'll call you Rock.
I was gonna call you Rock anyway.
Yeah,
whether you liked it or not.
Yeah. I bet he's so big, dude. He's
a big dude.
Like in person,
he's kind of like. Actually, it was a perfect comparison, and he was close to you today. Like the way that you see Billy Gunn, where he just, he's a big dude.
Right.
Rock's like 6'4", and then like he's a big dude.
Right.
So I would say he's similar in size to like what you would see with Billy Gunn, where you see him and you go, oh, that guy works out.
Oh, yeah.
Like that guy, if you didn't know who The Rock was somehow, like if you'd been...
if you've been living under a rock for
your
whole life.
Or if you'd been in a coma for the last like 30 years or something, you just woke up now, you'd be like, oh, that guy played a sport.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that's how big he is. What's been the best piece of advice that someone's given you throughout your career?
They always just go slow. If you think you're going slow, go slower. Because people always in wrestling, they just look like they're moving too fast, and I'm one of those people. I feel like I could slow down more and just make everything count. Yeah. Because that's a big thing. You don't want to just get to going too fast and trip over yourself and then botch everything and end up on Botchamania or whatever. You want to do that.
What are these bracelets you have on here?
Oh, these
by
bracelets.
The way, you have so many of them on. Oh wow!
Got two on this hand. Yeah, we can break them down.
6 bracelets total. Okay. Where do we want to start?
Let's see. We can start here.
Okay.
So this black one, it says "Work hard, dream big," and I got that from my father actually, and I want to say right as I was going into high school, And ever since then, I've just worn.
I like that.
I've worn that one, and I've never really been into bracelets, but people just kind of keep handing them to me, and I'm like, I feel naked without them now. It's weird. And then this red one, it says Chaos Project, Luther and Serpentico. I love them, man. They've grown to be some of my like really good friends in AEW and stuff. And then
great.
This girl has made these two for me. It says this first one right here says Griff, and then the second one here says Rams Nation, because I'm a big LA fan guy. Like I love the Rams, the Lakers, the Dodgers.
How does that even happen?
Well, I mean, I didn't really have it. Like my family growing up, like I was born in Atlanta, and they were like Braves, Falcons fans. That's cool, whatever. Like I cheered for them. But I wasn't like a hardcore dedicated fan. And then I went to LA a couple times, and I was like, I really like this place. And this place has got a lot of like history. And like I just started. I was like, all right, I'm gonna be a Lakers fan. And that was before like that was still back when Kobe was there and we played for the Lakers. And I was a Dodgers fan when they weren't the best team in the league, and I was a Rams fan too when they were in St. Louis. So I was like,
now they're the champs.
Yeah. So, but
okay.
That girl, I think her name's Michaela. I think her girl
that's amazing. I'm always interested when somebody picks a team that's not from like close to where they're from. Mm-hmm. That's so interesting. Yeah, you picked all the teams from LA.
All the teams. I was just like, yeah, screw it.
I live in LA now, and I'm not even a fan of any of the teams. Sorry, everyone.
No, but that's funny. And then these two. This light blue one is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's Philippians 4:13. That's one of my favorite verses. I got that from my church, I believe. And then this other one right here, my dad gave me as well. It says, "Know Jesus and make him known." And I'm a real religious person, and I thank God for everything that He's given me. And so I just wear these on my wrist as a reminder. And no one's ever really asked me about these bracelets, but like I always wear it. Like whenever I get one about like Jesus or anything, I always put it on my left hand because. I don't know, just kind of separate it.
Is there anything specific that you learned from AJ where you were like, oh, wow?
Not necessarily, but he just kept talking about like wrestling and like how he wrestled in Japan and stuff like that. And he was like, and because I think I asked him, I was like, how do you call a match with someone that doesn't speak English? And he was like, wrestling is its own language. And I was like, you're so right. Like, don't ever stop talking. But yeah, he's the man. And I
stop talking.
I was like, I love him, dude. I could watch him all the time. Like literally everything he does, I feel like I do.
The first time in TNA when I saw him do the back flip into the reverse DDT, which he doesn't do in WWE.
I don't think he's done it a lot. He's done it a few times.
Has he?
I know he's done it to Xavier Woods. He did like a springboard into Xavier Woods one time.
I love that move.
Oh my God.
And then when he debuted, I was actually there when he debuted in Orlando.
Right.
And then he wrestled the next night on Raw, and I was like, this isn't the AJ I signed up for. I want whatever you can call that move.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what move you're talking about. Sick.
AJ from like, I bought all the DVDs when he was in TNA from like AJ from 05 to like 09, I think is my favorite wrestler of all time.
Oh yeah. No, I love going back and watching.
And that is no disrespect at all towards what he's doing right now or what he's done since then, but I'm saying that was the style of wrestling that I loved more than anything.
No, I remember the match he had with like Samoa Joe and Chris Daniels, that triple threat. God, I could watch that all day.
Me too.
God, that's so good.
That's the greatest match in TNA history.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That's the match also that put TNA, I think, on the map for a lot of people.
I think so.
I think that people caught wind of that and went,
oh my God.
That's what they do there? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much. I know that you literally. I got one more question for you. I know you just kind of text saying you have to wrestle in a few minutes.
Yeah, well, you gotta go get changed.
I end every conversation talking about gratitude. So, what are 3 things in your life that you're grateful for right now?
I am grateful for. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my family, and I'm grateful for wrestling.
I love it.
Yep.
Thanks so much, Griff.
Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.